Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Derail Valley. We're here with the DE6. I moved us over to Oil Well North, which is just down the road, so to speak, from the goods factory. There was not a whole lot of options at the goods factory to get us over to the harbor, which is where I want to be going next. And here at Oil Well North, we had a admittedly pretty small, but at least a well-paying crude oil haul here going to the harbor. So that's going to be the first thing we do today. And I also read a lot of your comments, a bunch of comments on the last one, and made a bunch of changes here to the DE6. You can see some of those sitting up on the top of the roof there. Before I go into the changes with the DE6, I want to, well, first of all, get started here and also talk briefly about what the plan will be for the rest of today's video. So as I try to figure, I'm going to try to multitask here, get everything running as I talk about it. So today we're going to make some big moves. The primary objective with the day is to get the DE6 Slug entered into the fleet, not into the feet. I got a whole load of comments on the last video recommending that we get the Slug hooked up with us. So we're going to prioritize that. That's the main reason we're heading over to the harbor, and I think we're all set to go. So I'm going to just give it a little bit of throttle here and see what happens. Sand is on. Oh, and we're going backwards. And when I said all ready to go, I neglected to check the gearbox. Forward drive, please. Now let's get going. And the sand is still going to activate. All right, so primary goal is to get the Slug, and then once we're at the harbor, I think we're also going to take that time and buy the military license. And with that military license and the Slug, we're going to do a big, expensive, and dangerous haul out of the harbor and up to the military base, which is somewhere I haven't actually even been to in this game before. So I don't know what the military base even looks like. I know it's up in the mountains, so I imagine it's going to be a bit of a challenge to reach. But we'll see how we get along once we get along. To that end, I'm probably going to be cutting out a decent amount of this journey here. It's also going to be getting dark. It's about 4 p.m., 4:30 p.m. in the game. Wow, that guy is going fast. I'm going to slow it down a little bit, in fact, so it doesn't run away from me. And I'll talk a little bit about the changes I made as well. So first and foremost, thanks to Moxie in the comments who recommended I get the Not Enough Gadgets mod from Nexus. I was also reminded that I am running a few other mods in here. If I do a Control F10, there, you can actually see them. I know it's very small, but we have the booklet organizer, the improved job overview, and most newly, Not Enough Gadgets. That let me buy some more mounting brackets, which I've put to good use right away. So here in our DE2, we have finally the anti-wheel slip computer mounted, as well as the overheat protector mounted up there. So those are the two and the only two new additions into the DE2. And then at the DE6, let's see if I could hop over there. Oh, easy. Oh god, I did not check our signaling before pulling out of here. I do believe right is the correct direction, though. Yeah, looks right. Get it? Haha. Let's do that before we go any further, shall we? Where's my route map? Oh, I put it down. I meant to put the world map down there. Okay, so we just head out of here and we're going left. I think I misspoke and said right just then. We're going left, and then we want to... I guess the quickest way would be going through the goods factory, which feels a little weird, but we're gonna do it anyway, especially since we were just there. Once we get through the goods factory, we're going to keep right here. And then here we'll keep left. And that should all be set up, because we just came from the harbor. So it should be set up to take us back to the harbor, at the very least. And we'll put our map back down there. Let's get the throttle going again. Set my seating position also, and maybe save it this time. All right, what's changed in here? Well, you may have noticed I have this doohickey. So I got the proximity reader mounted. I also have the proximity sensor. I have one on the front of the train. I don't have one on the back, just because I don't think I need it right now. I have these two buttons here. So we have a high beam button. If I press that, you might not be able to tell, especially in the rain, but the high beams have just turned on. we also have the warning beacon button. So I did put warning beacons on the roof of the vehicle. I was originally, if you recall, I had installed 3. I took one of those away because Darth made a really good point in the comments regarding, a little bit of an epilepsy warning. I do not want to trigger a reaction like that in anybody. So I know some people have commented that they have epilepsy and they don't have an issue with it in the videos, but I'd really much rather play it safe than sorry. And I think that's everything that's changed in here. If I pop out real quick, you can, well, it's very bright, but you can see there's just the 2 headlights I've mounted, and the middle beacon was the one, oh god, in the bush. The middle beacon was the one I took down, or the nose beacon was, so it's less in your face. I know some people have mentioned that the beacons also, as you can tell, shine through walls, which is pretty annoying. And so if I had one mounted on the nose right there, it would be shining the most through the walls. So that was the one I opted to remove. I think that's everything that has changed in this vehicle. I'm going to readjust my focus to making sure we get safely to the harbor. And that means just checking this one more time. So yes, we're going to go left, and we're going to go left. And that'll take us through the goods factory. And let's make sure we don't slam into anything at the goods factory. We'll be going through B. We'd love to take that loading track there, and that's all set up. After that, we'll be going into C. So we'll keep left here. And you know the rigmarole here. You've seen me do this plenty of times. And then we'll keep left at these locations and go through D. One thing I did was service my locomotives as well. So the DE2 is now fully fueled up, as is the DE6. Everything's all repaired. I did that at the goods factory before we left. And we're going uphill now, so I'll give it a bit more throttle, perhaps. And yeah, I think everything's in a good spot now. I'm excited to get the I'm really excited to get the military license. Like I just mentioned, I've never even had that in this game. I think I bought it once because I had to turn a train around at the machine factory. And if I just pull up the map for machine factory here, you can see E here is a good spot to turn around because you have your little Y junction. And what this map doesn't show you is that E is right here where it crosses the track. E has a barrier because it's a military-only platform. And so I had to turn a long train around, and I was lazy. I had a load of money in my other save. I didn't feel like detaching stuff and moving everything around. So I just bought the license and backed the train in. But I never actually hauled any military cargo, and I'm pretty sure it pays well to haul nuclear missiles around. So we're gonna get a good taste of that. I'm gonna load up my throttle now, as I would like to get a move on. Let's make sure the DE2 is running back here. It is. One thing I considered purchasing today was the wireless multiple unit. I thought it might be fun to have a couple of DE2s on the back of the train doing some pushing while we have these ones in the front with the Slug doing the pulling, but alas, I have not gotten to the machine factory yet, which is where the wireless multiple unit remote controller can be found. And then I got thinking about how I actually want to set up the Slug. So I was doing some reading about it, not just in the comments section, but also on the wiki, and I understand now. I knew the Slug didn't have a motor, but it didn't dawn on me, or I shouldn't say motor, it doesn't have an engine, it doesn't have the diesel engine. It has the traction motors in the trucks. So basically, when you hook up a Slug to the back of a DE6 like this one right here, the diesel in the diesel electric is powering all of the traction motors for this engine as well as the Slug. So I had gotten some earlier comments way earlier in the series about how like, oh, it doesn't necessarily increase power, just traction, and that all makes sense to me now. Anyway, that got me thinking how to configure our locomotives with the Slug. Now, I think it makes the most sense to put the Slug between 2 DE2s. Oh, and there's that engine going quiet again. Thank you to Marty, who clarified that was the gearbox shifting. There's like 2 or 3 gears. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so between two DE6s is like obviously the most optimal because the DE6s have the most powerful diesel engines, but you could also do between two DE2s. You could do a DE2 and a DE6, and I emphasize aesthetics a lot in my games, and so I'm probably gonna go for the most aesthetic option here. And I'll make that call when we get closer, but do let me know if there's a meta to connecting those. I feel like if we're rolling two DE6s, a slug, and a DE2, I don't know if there's enough cargo in the game to really give it much of a difference. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a lot of pulling power. So I don't know if the minor, or maybe not so minor, difference between a DE6 and a DE2 attached to the slug will really make a huge difference, as long as a DE6 is at least attached to the slug, right? The question is, do we attach two or one DE2 or what not? Anyway, that's the plan. I'm probably not going to be painting. Let's get our bell on here. Where's the bell button? Love that bell. Love the horn too. Now, I'm not going to be painting the DE6 slug once we get it because we're a little low on cash here. 100K. I had to spend a whole bunch more when I was doing those repairs off camera. That cost a pretty penny, and then also doing the rest of the installations and buying all the rest of the gadgets cost us a pretty penny as well. So, not a huge amount of cash. We have actually only just enough to purchase the military license, which I think is 100K. But we're doing a job right now, so it'll be fine. We'll have plenty once we get to the harbor to play with. And like I said, I'm hoping those military jobs will pay off considerably once we get started with those. So I'll see you again, most likely when we're a lot closer to the harbor, because I want the primary part of this video to be the haul of that military equipment. So until that time comes, stay tuned. It's going to be about 40 minutes for me and probably about 30 seconds for you. So I'll see you then. So long. All right, we're back. Coasting into the harbor now. Trying not to derail this train. There were a couple of close calls, actually. That's a pretty stressful route right here on the... over here. On the western side of the harbor valley. So we're coasting. Now I'm going to put some dynamic brake on. Before I go any further, I kind of regret not mentioning this earlier, actually, but I do have a vote now open on the channel page for my next playthrough. Okay, come on, don't derail. We're so close. All right. I have a vote open on the channel for my next game. This game will not be replacing Derail Valley, but it will be an addition to the channel, and I'm very much interested in playing a game that you guys are keen on seeing, as I have mentioned in the past. So it's official now. The 4 games are official, and the poll is live. Check out the pinned comment at the bottom of this video. You'll find the link to the poll there. It's on YouTube and all that. And just let's get our warning beacons on here, as well as the bell. We're gonna have to do a little turnaround maneuver here, but I'm probably gonna cut out even more of the shunting now. Anyway, whoa. The 4 games are Software Inc., which is a game that no one recommended, but I'm a very big fan of, and I've been mentioning for quite a little while now. The other games are Stationeers, which surprisingly got a lot of positive feedback in the comments of my last video. I really wouldn't mind playing Stationeers either. I'm a pretty big fan of that game, and there's been new updates to it, yada yada yada. The third game is OpenTDD. That's another one I'm pretty keen on playing. Now, I'd have to refamiliarize myself with OpenTDD, because it's been a very long time since I've played that, but it also recently got a big update version 15, so it'd be fun to check that out. That'd be like a rags to riches, start from nothing, build up the company, yada yada. And then the final game, kind of the wild card of the bunch, is Captain of Industry. I've never played Captain of Industry. I've never watched any videos of Captain of Industry. I've seen the trailers on Steam for it, because I play Factorio, I play Derail Valley, I play a lot of transport and industry satisfactory focused games. So Steam was like, hey, you're gonna like this, but I never got into it, never even played it, rarely even looked at it. But it's on the list because Darth wanted it to be on the list, and Darth watches all my videos, even the Schedule 1 videos. So right now, surprisingly, out of left field, no offense, Darth, Captain of Industry is winning that vote. It has 50%, which I like to see, a clean majority for a winner. But if you don't want to see any of those games, let me know. It's probably going to be one of those, so I apologize in advance. But if you recommended a game that's not on that list, I do have to apologize. Nothing against you, obviously. It's just I can only do 4 in the poll, so I picked the 4 that I thought I would enjoy the most. And that's that. Go please check out that poll. I really want to get as many votes on that poll as possible. That doesn't even help channel engagement, right? It's a post on the channel page, so it might help me in some ways. But really, like, the reason I want that poll to do well is so that I can have high confidence in whatever I play next, and that I'm not undermining the niche of the channel. So let me know. As mentioned, all 4 of those are games I'd be very happy to play. And we're here in the harbor. I'm going to back this guy into D4I, which is all the way over there. Ooh, moon. And it's nighttime, which kind of sucks, and it's kind of lame. So when I come back, we'll be heading over to get the slug, I think. I got to go buy the key from the store, which is thankfully here. There is a D6 there we're probably going to pick up before we leave. And I'll see you when we're doing that. Got to turn in the job as well, so that's when I'll come back. And there's a little surprise waiting for me in the shed that I didn't know would be there. But you'll see what that is in just a few minutes. Seconds for you. All right, there is the crude oil delivered. Now, whoops, I want to get over to the shed that has, first of all, quiet you and turn off the dash light, because I'm very confident that is what's lagging my game. And turn off the bell. We're gonna get this guy pushing forward just a little bit. We did just do all that shunting with the DE6, but it's okay. We're gonna want to set you up so that you're heading out of here, and actually I'm gonna turn off the DE6 because it's actually too fast. I gotta turn in this job, and I want this to go real nice and slow while I'm doing that. Let's set up the station map so that this gets out of here, and I want to actually go reverse. Hopefully not explode the DE2. Oh, let me grab my paper here. Okay, so we're gonna want to go reverse into the shed, which is all the way down that way and up a hill. So like the biggest hill in the game, I've heard, actually. And where is my loco? It's making its way over here. Let's turn in the job, just in the off chance that we get the time bonus for it. Oh, and we did. 36 minutes. Well, I said 40, not bad. 37K is pretty good. And in here, that little surprise, 7 grand. So remember I forgot to pick up the money? Well, it didn't just delete it, which is a lovely feature. Thank you, game, for that lovely feature. Let's take a quick peek in here. I am keen on getting the military license. I think I'm going to do that just right now while we wait for the logo to move. Military 1, 100K. We have 178. No problem. All right, there's military 1. Insurance copay is a lot. And we have plenty left. We might even get military 2, but this might require hazmat 3. It does not. All right. Let's take a look at what's at the military contract table before we go spending more money, though. I think this guy can come to a stop now, so I'm going to do that and open up my station map. I know it's dark. Bear with me here. Yes, okay, because we're going to go through G backwards here and then all the way up and out. So let's flip that. Let's get you actually stopping. And let's get you reversing. Actually, before we reverse fully, let's just go ahead and take a wee little nap so that we have some daylight when we get the slug. Because I would like to have that daylight. And we'll do 5 a.m. so that it's like daylight when we get there. So like I said, it's pretty uphill making our way over to the slug. So I'm not entirely sure how that's going to pan out, but it'll probably be fine. Oh, and it's raining, so that will add a little bit of spice to it, I'm sure. Because the DE2 is going to be going backwards. We got to remember to turn off our handbrakes as we have just slept. Let's get you running. I'm sure the DE6 won't have any issues going up this hill. Where's the handbrake? Right, it's outside. But I don't want to turn it on yet. We'll turn it on as we need it. And I guess we'll just get you going. Now, I do need a... Okay. Are you going the right way? You are going the right way. I need to make sure G is set up for a pass-through. I think G... Yeah, okay. G's right here. G's now set up for a pass-through. As as those engines get going, let's purchase the garage key. I think it's Steve's garage. We will see. We will see if it's Steve. How much sibilance can I get in one sentence? Wow, that's a lot of sibilance. All right, 7K, that's nada. And we got the key. We're going to need this key. We'll keep it in our hotbar, I guess. Anything here I'm keen on? Demonstrator paint, maybe? Ooh, that's Derail Valley paint. I think demonstrator paint is only at the machine factory. So we might come back for that. Go back to the machine factory, that is. Where's my locomotive? This is G-Lot, is it not? Should be up there somewhere. Let's give it some more power. Let it ride. There she goes. All right, this is going to be the reverse heavy. Oh, and we're flashing. Why are we flashing? Because the brakes aren't on. Ooh, see that lightning? Let's give the DE6 control of the brakes. As mentioned, I think it has a better air compressor, although the engine's not even on, so I don't know if the air compressor's working. And let's just turn the engine on, I guess. It's not like fuel's much of a concern on this guy. Right? That's not fuel. That's not fuel. That's sand. There's fuel, the last thing I look at. And it did not save my seating position again. This is a lot of rain. This is a lot more rain than I anticipated. We're going pretty quick here, too. That's the power of the DE2. Let's get the wipers on. There's rear wipers. Yeah, there are. Cool, cool. All right, I'm liking this. This is going to be my first time ever seeing the slug in the game. I'm doing a lot of things for the first time. War Thunder Man. Doing a lot of things for the first time. And we're going to see how that goes. Never claimed to be an expert at this game, mind you. I think I know more than someone who just picked it up, but that's about the extent of my knowledge. Alright, well, I made a few mistakes there. I was going the wrong way, and not only that, but I had the train facing the wrong way, and the train is still actually facing the wrong way. Oh god. Oh no, 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 no. Bad time to be over speed. Okay, okay, we're good now. We're good now. 1. I've never seen a 1. Anyway, the train's facing the wrong way still, but I'm just gonna do a re-rail because it's actually facing the right way to get out of the harbor when we eventually want to leave here. Although, now that I think about it, we're going up to military base. I guess, yeah, we will be facing the right way. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll just tow the slug out of here and then re-rail it when we get back to the military base. It's going to take a little while over there to get everything all orderly anyway, so I don't mind the little extra labor to get it working. This seems to be that insane uphill part that the Wikipedia was mentioning. My clinometer is actually maxed out, which I've only seen a couple times. So that little stretch, we didn't know what the top speed actually was. I'm a little spooked also riding on the edge of this cliff. You can hear me playing with the throttle a lot because I don't want to get going too fast, because we definitely have the power to go fast, but the speed limit signs are spooking me out, and I know that there's a garage at the end of this track, so I don't want to just slam into that because it's raining. I can't stop on a dime, you know. Okay, end of track, I think is what that sign most likely means there. I wonder if the garage is on an incline too. And from a game development perspective, that'd be surprising, but you never know. I can't see. I don't know. Okay, I can lean. I forgot I can lean. Can lean like Juice WRLD. I don't know what the overlap of Derail Valley fans and Juice WRLD fans are, but surely I'm not the only one. Also, my Dutch commenters did not comment on my butchering of their language in the previous episode, which I see as meaning one of two things. Oh, there's the wall. We might hit that. Oh, we're gonna hit that. Oh, don't wheel slip. Oh my god, stop. Okay. Deep breath. Out. All right, we had that's a good 10 feet. We had 10 feet to spare there. Let's unlock Steve's garage. I'm glad I purchased the correct key. And there she is, the slug of all slugs. We're gonna just plug into this guy real quick. I gotta be careful of the delayed torque on the DE6 and the fact that I can't really stop very fast. You might be wondering why the... Okay, stop. Why is it rolling? Why are you rolling away from me? This game's physics get a little janky the longer you play, I have found. Alright, there we go. We may have hit the back wall, but that's fine. Oh, and I gotta take my proximity sensor off. I was gonna say, you might be wondering why the proximity sensor wasn't doing anything. Why it wasn't beeping right there, and that was because I have it disabled temporarily. Alright, let's just start rolling backwards. I'll keep the DE6 on so that we have it to pressurize the brakes. Not that one. Because we'll obviously be able to roll for most of this journey. And the sun's finally come out, although it's still raining. The forecast did say no rain at 6 a.m., so it should be not raining. This is how I disabled it, by the way. I just switched it on to channel 2 or 3. Otherwise, it would have been beeping that whole time. And yeah, I think we're just going to float our way on down here and back into the harbor. So I'll catch you again when we're in the harbor and we're ready to set everything up here. So I'll probably be at the military dock at the harbor when I see you again. Welcome back to the harbor, folks. We're here at the back of a very large train. I'm stuck on a ladder. There we go. I'm going to walk through what we have on here, and then a little bit of a surprise at the front, too. I think a certain Mr. Blake will be happy about that. So I put the proximity sensors on here, too. Realized we probably could have made pretty good use of those when we were pulling into Steve's garage, but alas, I forgot to re-enable it. We made it out of there. Okay, though. And right now I'll go over what we have. So we have a logistics haul. These are empty cars going to City West. That will be our first stop, followed by a gigantic shipment of tooling here. We have Nove, Treg, Brome, and AAG tooling here. 864 tons of tooling going to Coal Power Plant. We've done this tooling delivery to Coal Power Plant in the past, though I do not believe we've done such a massive haul of tooling. Following that, we have in front of that, we have our first military order. I mentioned I actually wanted to do an all military order to the military base, but there's not a lot of track in the harbor military base over in that direction, and so this was really the only one we had. There was some nuclear waste there, which I've never seen before, and had an absolutely redonkulous payout. But we'll work our way up to that. For now, we're just going to deliver these trucks, which unfortunately don't pay very much, but it's an excuse to get to the machine factory, which is always good. And then finally, on our four-legged journey here, we have excavators, tower crane parts, and mining trucks going over to Ore Mine West. So I don't have my map on me, but if you're familiar with the Derail Valley map at all, that will be a full map traversion. Iron Mine West is the... Did I call it Ore Mine West? Iron Ore Mine West is the highest and westernmost point on the map, and we're currently sitting in the southern easternmost point in the map. And to make all this happen, we have two DE6s, the Slug, and a DE2 with the Slug powered by the DE6 and the DE2. Mr. Blake, in my comment section, was begging that I stop overloading our DE6, and so I think this is more than enough power to get us out of the harbor, but we will see. I've been surprised in the past, and this is a lot of weight. I'll discuss the weight in just a second as we get out of here and we get moving. I'm going to start the throttle on low. I'm going to take a quick save also, because this looks like a good spot for a thumbnail. And we will, whoops, hit the wrong keys as we head out of here. So I'm going to start accelerating pretty aggressively off rip. As you can see, we do not have the run up this time. That was partly because I'm pretty confident in our tractive effort that we are working with here. And I'm also, I'm pretty confident in our horsepower that we're working with here. So all said and done, I'm pretty confident we're going to make it out of here just fine. But we'll see. That being said, let's definitely throw the throttle back a decent amount and really bask in the power of that Slug. Taking a look at the map here, you can see we're at the harbor. We're going all the way up to Iron Mine West as our ultimate destination. As we start accelerating here, I should set my signals, although maybe I'll actually activate my contracts first, and hopefully we can activate them here. Oh, we can. Hopefully it lets me activate everything here. It does! Nice, so that's new to me. I've actually never been in this office before. Military 2 is required. We do not have a computer in here to resolve that. Well, we're gonna resolve that very quickly. Pardon the teleportation, as I need to race my train as I make my way back to the main station building. There's the back of the train we're running across. I think I'm gonna just buy military 2, so I don't need to worry about this, which means paying off my fees, so that's gonna be a chunk of change, and then quickly buying Mil 2. Only 30k. We're gonna get it eventually, might as well get it now. Voila, there it is, all done. Okay. Pretend you didn't see that. A little bit of a screw up there. Wasn't the first one in this episode. This episode's been filled with little screw ups. Almost sounded like there was a... I'm not sure why that just said neutral, by the way. Almost sounded like there was a squeak in here, like a brake might be on. Oh, a brake is on because I paid my fees. Oh, shoot. Okay, we need to get into the least DE2 because this thing just turned on the handbrake. That's what just happened. All right. And it's probably powered down also. Yes, it did. All right, well, this will be a good test of our newfound power since we're starting from 0 on a slope. Here you can see we're at a 2.5, almost an intense slope here, and we're going to push these guys hard to see if they can get out of here. We're not going to push them too hard. I know Blake would be mad if I did, so we're going to take it easy. Turn off our warning beacons. And slowly drag our feet out of here. Oh, and I forgot to activate the thing. All right, thankfully I did not need to go very far to activate this since I was able to use the validator that's at the at the military base, not the machine factory. We're on the way to the machine factory. Let's mount some of these orders up here. And before I forget, I do also need to check our switch settings. So we want a route map. We're going to City West first, which we kind of do sometimes. We're going to make a right out of here. We're going to make a left, and then we're going to make a left. So we'll take the bottom southern track. Let's just verify that. That's a right, that's a left, that's a left, and then a right, and then a left, and then a right. Okay. Whew, deep breaths. We can do this. We'll get out of here, no problem. It's a beautiful morning. It's 7:42 a.m. We'll maybe be able to see the back of the train as we crest this hill. We're only at half throttle. Yeah, so we have a lot of headroom to work with here if push comes to shove. And yeah, look at that. Back of the train all the way in the harbor still. You love to see that. It means we're going to be making lots of money. Speaking of the specs of this train, I did not finish doing the math, but I have most of it. So FH74, that's the, which one is this? The mine equipment going to Iron Mine West, 258 tons. FH04, that's the military equipment, 81 tons. FH35 is the big haul of tooling going to the coal power plant, 864 tons, and then LH39, just an empty cars going to City West, that's 112 tons. So in total, our gross weight of the cargo is 1,315 tons, and maybe I can give you a nice little exterior view as I go through this. You have a visual for what I'm saying. There we go, that looks good. Okay, so 1,315 tons in cargo. In terms of the length of all this stuff, the excavator equipment's 127 tons, military equipment's 55 meters, 127 meters, excuse me, not tons, meters, followed by 55 meters of military equipment, followed by 325 meters of tooling containers, and ending with 94 meters of the empty cargo containers. So to recap, our gross weight of cargo is 1,315 tons, and our gross length of cargo is 601 meters as we go into a tunnel here. Then we have two DE6s. Those are 125 tons each. We have a Slug, which is 125 tons, a DE2, which is 38 tons. That brings the locomotive weight to 413 tons. And if we combine 1315 with 413, we get 1,728 tons. Very, very close to 1738, which would have been hilarious to hit. Anyway, our total length then is 661 meters, which I will now punch into our distance tracker. 600, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll go up to 7. So we'll call it 670 on the distance tracker. Not that I think we're going to get fast enough to really take full advantage of that. As for this thing, we have it on, set to channel 1. I'll just set it to auto. Even though everything should be set to channel 1, we'll leave it on auto anyway. We have a... Oh, maybe I could actually show you this. If I pop out here, yeah, you can see it there. We have a proximity sensor on the nose. We have one on the back that I showed you when we tuned back in. So we're all kitted out and ready to go, I'd say. I'm gonna relax throttle because we are gaining a little bit of momentum now. But yeah, this is easily the most powerful locomotive combination we've used by like a long shot. I didn't even bother doing the math on what the locomotives can haul. We've done 1,700 ton hauls with much less than what we're doing now. So I'm not worried about getting there. One thing to consider, if I run to the back real quick, pardon the volume, the DE2 back here is actually pretty low on fuel because I used it to do all the shunting along with the Slug, and it was pretty heavy shunting. So yeah, we have half a tank. We might lose the DE2 partly through this delivery, which was part of the reason I wanted to get that second DE6 on the head there. The unfortunate thing is that if we do lose the DE2, we also lose some of the diesel energy going into the Slug. But honestly, I think it's fine. Look at the wheel. See, like, that's getting worse the longer the save lives on, the jiggling of the wheels and stuff. But that being said, very loud out there. That being said, at least we have a lovely view to look at here as we get on our way. So I don't know if I finished setting my switches. I don't believe I did. Let's check back into here. We're going to be going left, and then a left, and then up here a right, and then a left, and then a right, and then we're in City West. All right, cool. So that's all set up. Now at City West, we're going to A3S. So let's check that out. Well, we've gone to A3S before. Yeah, so this will be the bypass strategy that we've done in the past, and then backing in. I will preset some of these so that when we do the back in, it's less to think about. Removed a bit of throttle there as well. So after City West will come Coal Power Plant. That one is going to require some cognitive energy to think about. A2I, just kidding. A2I is beautiful. Beautiful sunrise right now. Let me take a screenshot. Now, YouTube actually shows me when people stop watching the videos, and people tend to stop watching my videos when I take screenshots. So I'm going to try to minimize that moving forward. Like I was saying, A2I is a very easy input track to reach and leave. Well, maybe not leave. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit tricky getting out of there. Okay, it's going to require a little bit of cognitive effort to think about. But after that, it's a straight shot to Machine Factory and then Iron Mine. We could even do a rolling drop-off. Oh, we can't do a rolling drop. So at Machine Factory, we're going to the military base, which we have to back into. Because the military base is E, it's a terminal station, so we will have to stop, unfortunately, at the Machine Factory, but we'll deal with it. Not the end of the world. Let me look back at Coal Power Plant now. So we're obviously coming in from the south. We're going to want to stay left so that we enter the facility. And then, like, my natural inclination is to just get right onto A2I, but is there a way I could get onto it from this track? Not really, unfortunately. Not without backing up. So there's going to be backing up involved here, I think, one way or another. Yes, that is for sure going to be the case, because this will only put me onto this track, which just terminates. So how can we back up? One thing, we will be dropping off the heaviest and longest portion of the consist here. So what if I come in this way? No, because I would have to back up Ooh, and then I could go like this and then back into A2I. What does that gain me, though? Because when I leave, yeah, I'd be all turned around. So I need to, I think, pull in regularly, which means we turn left here, keep right. We turn left there, we keep right. We keep right here. That brings us on for our drop-off. Then in order to exit, I suppose we'll keep left here, get onto this top track, pull all the way forward, and then back up again, and then out. And that will be how we navigate the coal power plant. Maybe there's a more optimal way in there. You can try to let me know, although I have a feeling that facility's complicated enough that it might not translate that well into text. But if there is a better way to do that, do at least try to let me know. I'll try to understand. No guarantees, though. But for now, it might be time for some cinematics. And I'll come back probably a little bit before we get into City West. But until that time comes, enjoy the footage in the atmosphere. I must say, it is a really nice change of pace to not be struggling the whole time. Like, we're cruising right along with these locomotives, and big shout out to Blake for pushing me to do that, because otherwise I probably would have been like, let's overload the locomotives again, save a little bit of money. And granted, maybe saving money isn't the worst idea, given it's never been lower since, like, day one. But we're gonna persist. We'll be okay. And it is way more relaxing this way. And part of why I play this game is for the vibes and the fact that it's relaxing. So I might as well maximize that feeling every now and then, no? Speaking of relaxing, let's maybe also not derail the train right here. We are going a little bit fast, and this boy is a little tough to slow down. We'll give it some pneumatic brake and some dynamic brake here. Try to... Ooh, some scratchy wheels. Oh, and a 40 coming up here. Let's really get aggressive with the brakes now. Okay. Not so aggressive now. Come off pneumatic. Keeping on the dynamic, though. We're not going very downhill, so, I mean, -4 ammeters should be fine. Oh, those are amperes. Okay, not ammeters. That's the dial, the gadget, not the unit of current. Could use a bit more dynamic, though. We are sort of teetering between 40 and 40, or 45, 44. I'll start the tracker now, since we did just hit that 70. And then once we clear that tracker, we'll go full steam ahead, assuming we don't hit another speed limit before then, of course. Keep my eyes peeled. If I remember correctly, and I am starting to learn my way around here, there is a 50 coming up, I think. Oh, it's an 80. Okay, well, I stand corrected. Okay, we do not want to be going 50. The back of the train is still, 40. There we go. Our derail detector is telling us everything is okay still. Okay, we're in a 60 now. And now I think I'm safe to come off all of our braking. What is this? Oh, that's the distance dial. Gosh, I was like, what does this dial do? I've never set this. No, I have. Oh, a 30. Okay, whoa. Back to cranking the brakes. I'm trying to remember not to just crank the dynamic to like full immediately. I need to build up to that. I'd say we came into that 30 quite nicely. We are going actually uphill now, so I'll even give it... Well, the back of the train's still going downhill, so I'll wait before I give it more throttle. I need to remember to not get above 40 for a little bit now, until that distance tracker chimes again. Ooh, I love the shadow on the map like that. Very aesthetic. Quick update on the poll. I've gotten a couple more votes since I started recording. Full transparency, I've been recording for a hot minute. This has been a test of endurance on this recording session. I had to eat dinner in the middle of it too. Maybe I'd take a throttle. I think the bulk of the train's on that uphill stretch. As my voice cracks a little bit, I forgot to bring my water in here. Anyway, update on the poll. Forgot about that part. Captain of Industry still winning, although by less now. A few more votes have come in. Darth just voted. If you're watching this, Darth, you I have to assume just voted for Captain of Industry. So we're sitting at 44% for Captain of Industry, which is unfortunately not a majority. It's a plurality though. But I'm sort of like, I'm unsure if there's no majority, I might run another poll with the top 2 answers. That way we can have a clean winner, but then it just kind of like adds latency to the actual, beginning of the series, the new series. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about that. If anyone out there in the internet has opinions on that, do let me know. I know I bring up Mr. Rodamont a lot on the YouTubes. Big inspiration for me, and he always does viewer-driven content like this with polls, and he never gets a majority because he will have a poll with like 8 or 9 options in it, and so like the winning option will have like 25% of the votes, and that always kind of drove me up the wall a little bit. I'm like, you should re-poll, but I guess doing that every single time gets tedious, and that's probably why he doesn't do it. But this is literally the inaugural poll for the channel, so it's not like I've been doing a lot of these already. Oh, I might need to go and grab that water. My throat's getting a little raspy. Trying to correct my posture here too. Apologies if you hear the chair or desk noises. Oh. Sensor. Okay, I guess it was sensing the buildings in front of me, maybe? Let's kind of slow down here a little bit. So we are eventually going to need to back up here. And I think I will use the distance tracker, try to do the cab only. I have the proximity sensor on the rear of the train also, so we could do like a true full cab only experience here, which I think I'm going to try to do. Let's start the distance tracker going. And we have a good distance, 661 meters still to go, so let's not lose all of our speed. And why do I have brake pressure? Where's that coming from? There we go. All right, I'm going to run and grab my water. I'll BRB. It's like I'm live streaming or something. And we're back. There we go. Little impromptu cinematic. I don't even have my headphones on yet. All right. There we go. Let's be a little fast and loose. with the recording. All these rules. This was a pretty heavily edited episode already. So maybe cut back on that a little bit for this last part. Although we still got a lot to do. We have to get to Coal Power Plant, and we have to got all the way up to Iron Mine. Well, we also got to get to the Machine Factory, and then we got to get to Iron Mine West. Plenty to do still today. All right, and with those chimes, we're ready to come to a stop here. We'll use our magic signal switcher that has infinite range. Once we flip to reverse, switch that. And now, nice and chill, we're gonna just gently start going backwards. Now, all of the switches should be set up, because I did this already, but can never be too sure. So this is the one we just flipped. We're going to the right, then we're going to the right again. Right, right, left, right. That's what we're looking for. Right, right, left, right. That's obviously a left, but it's absolute, so it's right. Trust me, it's okay. We're gonna try to do this one largely in cab. Now, once I pick up a reading on the proximity reader, I'll probably run to the back. We have the sensors. Actually, I don't know what the rear sensor's set to. I know the front sensor should be set to like a pretty high value. Can I see it from... No, not really. All right, well, now I have a little bit less faith in my ability to do this, because I don't know. If you're unfamiliar with these sensors, they have dials on the side there, and you can set the distance that you want them to start chiming on, and I don't... Because it goes from, like, really close, like 10 meters, to, like, really far, like 300 meters. And I do not remember what... I didn't even touch the rear one. I just put it on the train, so I don't know at all what the amount will be, but we did just go through our first signal. We just went through the second one. Those are the two that are really close to each other. These two right here. And I figure when I go through the third one, I'll probably run back there and see what's up, just for the final stretch. And I did pick that up. Nice. Let's reorganize these a little bit. There we go. So these will be our next two. Oh wait, no, that's the one I'm doing right now. Yes, Machine Factory. Little baby drop off at Machine Factory. Machine Factory Military Base is what that means. MFMB. Okay, I'm getting a little anxious. There it is. There's the third one. All right, let's run back here. And we can see what the deal is. How far away we are from slamming into the end of the track. Trying not to abuse the teleport, but I'm mostly using it out of impatience and not anything else. Okay, we got a good amount of space there. Oh, we should buy the light bar when we're here as well. Oh, there's stuff on that track. Ain't there? Yeah, there is. A3S. Well, let's get these guys slowing down. At the very least, it does take a lot of energy to slow the train down. How much runway we have back here? Let's maybe slow down a bit more aggressively. Looks like we have a decent amount of space behind all the cars. I don't know if you can hear my voice going, but it's going. It's on its way out. I feel like the last words of all my sentences are just cracking a little bit. We're going to need to do some pushing here, I think. So I don't want to hit it too hard. Let me pick up that proximity reader. Oh, and it's under the train. And we're going to hit it kind of hard. Ooh, there we go. Well, it's fine. Let's just keep pushing, I guess. These guys all have their brakes on, but c'est la vie, I guess. We'll undo some of them to help with the resistance a little bit. And I don't think I care if those cars in the back hit anything. I just want to make sure that doesn't reverberate up through the train. I think we're good. I think we're in. I don't know formally where the track starts. I also have no idea where I lost my proximity reader. I kind of want that thing, though. That thing's not cheap. I hope it's not under a truck, because then I won't be able to see it. Well, I'll find it when we pull out of here, at least. Let's get the brake on and detach. And we can get pulling out of here right away. Okay, so that should start moving. We will activate, or validate, I should say, the job. Nice, 31 minutes so far. $21,000. I'd say that's well worth it. That was a pretty easy haul. For a decent sum of cash, nothing crazy. Oh, and we're not going to see my little device as we pull out because obviously we're not moving the cars I just dropped off. Well, I could always recover it to the garage as an absolute worst case scenario, but I'd like to just find it and pick it up. All right, whatever. Let's go back to the garage. We have a couple things we got to do here at City South before we leave. Let's retrieve lost items. There it is. And let's throw these in my paper bin. We want our long bracket. I should have bought the analog controller when I was at the goods factory. I'll have to do that another time. Running over to the store because we want to buy the red light bar, which should be in here. Yes, there it is. Anything else in here that's pretty neat that we may want? The only thing I could think of is Derail or demonstrator paint, but I don't think they'll have that in here. Nope. Doesn't look like it, so I think that's everything I need. I just heard beep beep. Not sure if you guys heard that. One of the city sound effects. Hopefully that wasn't from outside. That'd be crazy if that was from outside. Oh, and let's put the thingy on the back of the train. The proximity sensor. See the... Ooh, I could actually switch them from here. Yeah, see, that's the distance one. So I'm going to set it to... Whoa. Oh, no, that's the distance one. I'm going to set it to just, like, somewhere in the middle right there is fine. I'd rather overset it than underset it so that I get a measurement sooner rather than later. Look at that black smoke coming out of these engines. That's on one tick of throttle, mind you. Let's give it 2 now. So we're ready to head off to the coal power plant. Let's do some mounting also, maybe. Not really sure where I want to put this thing. My instinct is like, put it on the roof. But I know Darth had mentioned it's kind of cool to like put it behind the control panel. So that's kind of percolating. I could put it there, but then it's kind of just like shining in my eyes. I think we're going to put it on the roof, at least temporarily. Maybe what I'll do is just tape it for now. Just kidding, I don't have tape. So we're going to drill it. But I have the filler gun. If there's any feedback from you guys that there's better spots for this, I'm very open to relocating it. I'll just fill the holes. So let me know. Let me know if I'm missing out on some sick red light location. And hopefully this isn't too high up that it doesn't. I should have made sure it would fit actually before I did all the drilling, but looks good. Looks fine, at least. I think we'll be okay. There goes the engine, changing gears. Now that I know what that is, shout out all the people that commented that. Put our drill away as well. And in the interest of not making this video too long, I think I'll cut out the rest of the journey now and see you all again when we're pulling into the coal power plant. I spy smokestacks. You know what that means. Coal power plant, steam train. I guess it could mean both. I also realized we had a nice mixed industry train here. I think the title of this video will be Military Industrial Hall, something of those likes. Try to evoke some of the feelings of American imperialism. Everyone's favorite topic. This is not a politics channel. This is a train channel. Soon to be Captain of Industry channel, potentially. Maybe even a Software Inc. channel. Currently, it's a Derail Valley Tavern Keeper and Schedule 1 channel, which is certainly the combination. Where are we? Coal power plant? Yeah, something like that. Right, left, right, right. Or we could do a rolling drop off here too if I play my cards right. I do not want to be going quite so fast though. Let's get our bell tolling and our horn horning. Let them know we're coming. And we ain't gonna be stopped. Not by no one. I don't use that door very much. Probably because I put a, whatever that thing's called, in front of it. Toolbox. Almost said tool shed. No. Not a tool shed. Cooling towers, smoke, big train. Look at that. Probably kill the speed off now. No, I got my head right next to the horn. I don't know where the bell is, though. Like, I just noticed there's no model for the bell. It just makes sound. Ooh, DE6 over there. Should we triple DE6 it for the lightest part of the journey? With the slug, no less. Looks like A2I is open, which is great. It's very important if we're doing our rolling drop-off. You can hear the... I know it's called the... proximity sensor, but I almost called it the impact detector. It's hopefully not an impact detector, if I have anything to say about it. I think I probably want to be going about 10 kilometers per hour to do this drop off. I'm running to the front of the tooling there. This is where the disconnection is actually going to happen. And actually, why don't I run to the back real quick so I can pick up my proximity reader? And by run to the back, I mean teleport, of course. There it is. Oh no, it did it again. Come here, you bugger. I keep forgetting that that just detaches it. It doesn't put it in your inventory. I know, I try this a lot, this like rolling drop off, and I don't think I've succeeded at it yet. So I'm really focusing hard on this one. If I get silent for a few seconds or minutes, that would be why. I just want to clear that track right there, and we'll call it good. I can't see if we've cleared it. Not quite yet. All right, that's cleared enough for me. What we're gonna do is eliminate the brakes. Now, think about this. Disconnect that first, but leave that one open. That should pressurize the brakes when the disconnection happens. So this should stop. Yes, and that keeps going. Perfect. Perfect. I did it. Nice. All right, that's the first time I succeeded in like actually doing a proper rolling drop off without the whole train stopping. We're gonna validate that job. Oh, the job is sitting in the locomotive still. Also make sure we're not gonna hit anything while I'm in here. See, there goes the voice again. All right, this is the one I need to validate. Nice, 45 minutes. Took us 15 minutes to get from City West up to here. Here's the logo now. we are doing the transfer, which is what was planned. All right, let's stop or start stopping. Beauty. Flip that. And back her on up. Let's take a look at this guy while we're here. S282. Soon. Soon, very soon. I mean, we're running out of things to do. Right? We have making money. That's always something we can do. We're going to want to get Hazmat 3, Military 3, so we can move some nuclear material. Once we're moving the nukes, we will be rolling in money. Those are very... I shouldn't say they're light. I don't know how heavy they are, but they're very short cargo hauls. Train lengthwise, not distance-wise. And they pay, like, stupid amounts of money. So I'm pretty excited to get going with the nuclear material. But the upfront cost is huge. It's like $250,000 just to get the licensing for all of it. So it will take a little while before we're able to do that. I could do some stuff in the meantime, but what I don't want to do in the meantime is spend lots of money restoring another train, because that's not a good way to make money. On the other hand, I love to talk about how this is a viewer-driven channel, and that's true. So keep the suggestions coming, and I'll keep trying to make them a reality. A virtual reality. How's that for a suggestion? Hey, Keeper, buy a VR headset and record some Derail Valley in VR. I don't think my queasy-stomached friend from a couple episodes ago would like that very much, though. I forget your name. I'm so sorry. I'll find it, though. I'll find it before the end of the episode. Okay, we're moving forward. Yes, we're moving forward. I do need to just make sure our switches will take us out of here now. Perfect. And that should get us on a clear track to the machine factory. Gosh, I'm so excited for when this game gets updated in a year and a half, almost 2 years still. So there's some time before that happens, but we'll be here when it does. No more bell, please. David Quang. Sorry, David Squang. I'm assuming it's Squang, man. It's David-SQ9NG. That 9 can only be an A or an O. And I guess it kind of looks like an A, so I'm going with David Squang. You let me know if I'm pronouncing that wrong, buddy. Yeah, but he was like, yo, you tend to whip the camera around a lot, man. Maybe don't do that. And I was like, yeah, that's a pretty good point. I'm new. I'm not going to make excuses, but I am new. So there's an excuse for you. Well, I say I'm new, but this is like episode 18. Each one of these is at least an hour. I think some of the early episodes were like 50 minutes. The shortest one was 47 minutes, I think. But I have some hour-and-a-half ones in there, so at a minimum, this is 18 hours of recording now. Not including Tavern Keeper, not including Schedule 1. So, I mean, I don't know. At what point are you not a rookie in the game anymore? I guess when it's not your first season anymore. You guys remember when my microphone quality was dog shit and I used AirPods to record my videos? And I spent like the entirety of episode 2 of this channel, or of this series, talking about like my recording audio setup. And then I did that again in like episode 10, but that was when the quality got better, at least. Yeah, good times. That would kill my ears, man. Oh god, hang on, I need to pay attention to where I'm going. Machine Factory. I need to back into E. Yes, we need to go straight, which we should be set up to do. Oh, we're coming from this side. Left, and then right, and then go through D. Duh. Right, left. Whoa. D is a weird track. Hang on. We need to go right, left, right, and then straight. Okay. All right, that'll bring us through D, and then we just keep going, I guess. And then reverse. Hate having to stop and reverse, but I really don't think there's any way to do that. Unless, oh, you know what? We could have come out of coal power plant backwards. Okay, I know that for next time, and I've done that before. It's not even like that's an entirely novel concept. Like, I've literally have done that before. And that would have led us back right into E and then pull out and be on our way. Well, live and learn. We will persist. Oh, I should have done that. Whatever. You know, one thing that's been exceptionally cool about this community since I've started making these videos is everyone's been really nice. And I really do think that's just the Derail Valley community. I had some hesitations because I'm not very good at this game, but everyone's been super nice, which is like way more than I've expected, but it's not even like a really super nice thing. Like, obviously everyone's very active in the comments and very constructive and giving me good feedback to make me a better player and hopefully a better YouTuber also. But people have also been like really liking my videos at a very impressive rate. This channel as a whole has like 4 dislikes. And I don't know, maybe I'm saying that now and someone's going to go and dislike the video, which is cool, whatever, do whatever you want. But, I mean, think about that. Each one of my videos gets like 20 likes or so and about 200 views if I'm lucky. So 10% like rate, that's awesome. And having so little dislikes is like a really nice boost to my ego and also my motivation. So I know I say it a lot, but thank you guys for being such an awesome community. I hope to keep it going. That's why I want to get your feedback on the next game, because I want this core group to come with me as we explore other games and other experiences. And I'd really hate to alienate any of you guys by choosing a game you don't like. So do another plug for that poll. Look for the pinned comment. If you want to pause the video right now and go vote in that poll, I would love for you to do that. Anyway, why I wanted to bring up the community is I got my first hate comment, and I really didn't want to platform this guy. It's not even really a hate comment. It's like the most like polite hate comment you can get. Oh gosh, I need to look at where I'm going. E3. Okay, we turn here. Yeah, so it's kind of funny. I didn't want to platform this guy because I didn't want to like get more comments like this. But it's just too funny to not mention. This guy comments, "Hey, with all due respect, compared to my train museum, you're a rookie." I'm like, dude, like, what do you mean with all due respect? Like, hey, with all due respect, you're not good at this game yet. Like, that's such a strange like preface for a statement. Like, there's no way to make that respectful. I mean, you could just not say it. But anyway, that's all I want. I really don't mind. I thought it was funny. Because he's right. I don't think I've ever claimed to be an expert at this game, so I'm not taking it the wrong way or anything. But yeah, I'm on the wrong track. God, there's just something really poetic. It makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside about me complaining about somebody saying I'm bad at the game as I scroll visually past the 4L sign into into the wrong track. Ah, we're on the right track now, though, aren't we? What are these military cars? Wonder where those are going. Probably the harbor or the military base, if I had to reckon. Does this station also have its own? Yes, it does have its own office. Neat. That neat came out kind of weird. It was very guttural. Lungs are on their last breath right now. I was hoping to return to some Schedule 1 after recording this, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Sorry, Darth, as my only Schedule 1 viewer. But that might not happen tonight. That might delay Schedule 1 a little bit. It is Thursday evening. I have some plans for Friday night and Saturday night, and ooh, we have no oil. Let's turn off this engine since it's about to explode with no oil, and let's get on our way. I think we're ready to head to the iron mine. It's a little bit of a way up to the iron mine. It's not super far away if we look down here. But it's further than the coal power plant is from the machine factory, which I guess isn't saying much. Let's be sure to turn in our job also before we leave. Here's the military office. That's what this space is called. What did I forget? Handbrakes is what I forgot. Put that into the dirty clothes hamper, I think is what I just threw that into. Didn't quite look like a garbage bin. I'm aware that the train is accelerating away from me, but I think we'll catch it. There we go, 59 minutes. So we're going about 15 minutes between locations. What do we get for that? 26? That's not very good. That came all the way from the harbor, if you recall. That is going to military base. Yeah, these little baby military jobs aren't the best. And that required military too. Which, it's got me wondering, like, what the hell is the point of military 1? If that little job we just did carrying trucks required military 2. Like, what do we need for the missiles and helicopters? Which I'm yet to see. Maybe it's all at the military base. That's probably where we'll start the next episode. I might just fast travel over there, just to save a little bit of time. We pay for it, believe me. We pay for it, so if the concern is we're not wearing on the engines, the way I see it is we're paying more than we would pay if we used the diesel and the wheel wear to actually drive over there. I'm just saving myself a little bit of time by doing it. And we're at back over 100K. I mean, we made 100K. I think that said 50K or something. So we made like a lot. We made like 95 or something. Since deciding to head off from the harbor. And we don't need to worry about any switches. Although there is, I think... Okay, there is a garage, but it's not going to be a concern heading in this direction. So let's just worry about what we do at Iron Mine West, which is going to B2I. Sorry, I was staring at it. I just wasn't processing it. We'll be coming from, I guess I'm not really sure what direction we'll be. I guess the west, right? Yeah, we'll be coming from the west, going into B2. Douche. Right. I did not mean to say douche. No, I just meant to make a sound. Oh my god, we're going really fast. I guess we've been going downhill for a little while, haven't we? With the throttle on, probably. Let's calmly try to bring the speed down, as we do not need to be going this fast. I think that's the garage. Whoops. The switch we just ran over. Laggy lag. Lag is laggy. Turn my wipers on for a sound check. And there's the iron mine. Well, at least that's a pretty quick jaunt. I remember it being longer, but It was probably just the case that we weren't going 70 kilometers per hour last time. Took another sip of water there, hopefully. I think I unmuted a little too early there. I hope it didn't come through. That was something that sucked with the AirPods, was I couldn't mute them on the fly. And I had to drink water when I was recording, otherwise I would sound like I do now. And so I just had to deal with it and I would try to remember. There were a lot of sips of coffee and water in those recordings that I managed to snip out in editing that you guys didn't even know about. And then you probably heard a lot of the ones I didn't manage to snip out. I've come a long way though. I got a Shure microphone now. I got a dynamic mic. All right, are we gonna slam into anything? Nah, we're good. We're good. Whoa, frame rate is really struggling out here. You see that? That is not 60. Game has been running for a long time, so maybe it just wants to take a little break. I wouldn't blame it. I kind of want to take a little break too. But that's what we're here to do. Let's start turning off engines, I think. How far are we from being fully on the track? We got a little ways to go. Steam engine over here, I see on the corner of my eye. And there we have it. I don't know how long this episode will be once edited, but man, was this one an adventure to record. I don't want to sound too whiny. It was fun. It was fun. It took a long time, especially with the long break. I had to eat dinner in the middle. I had to watch the Rangers lose in the middle. Oh, God, I didn't even talk about the Rangers. You're lucky I didn't talk about the Rangers today. They sold Artemi Panarin just the other day, and that has been wreaking havoc on my psyche. All right, what are we looking at? 200,000, almost even. Nice 0.67 on the end there. No better way to end an episode, I think. Quick reminders at the end here. Please subscribe if you haven't already, but it's no big deal if you don't. And also, please do check out the poll in the pinned comment so that I can get as strong a data set as possible for what the viewers of this channel, what the viewers of Derail Valley want to see next on my YouTube channel. But hey, until next time, I hope you have a pretty chill day. And if it's nighttime, I hope you have a super chill night. And I hope you get nice snuggled up under blankets and it's not too cold and it's not too hot and you just have a chilled, restful night. And until next time, take care of yourself.